Hey everyone, this is John from Models by John Michael. If y'all could go ahead and subscribe to this YouTube channel, that would be amazing. I promise it doesn't cost you anything. Be sure to hit that notification bell. The other thing you can do is follow me on Facebook and Instagram. Check out some of the stuff I got posted on there. So in this video, I just want to come out right away and apologize for not making any videos. I think the last video I posted was right around 2 months ago, maybe a little longer than that. Things have been really busy around the house here. My oldest, she just graduated from high school, so there's that. Getting ready for that party, getting the house ready, all that kind of stuff. You know, so and if any of you have ever had someone graduate from high school or college, even from you've had the party at your house, you know all of the prep that goes into that. Plus, work's been fairly busy. So I've just had a lot of other things, unfortunately, that have really taken up a lot of my time. So I really haven't had the time or opportunity to make any videos, let alone I haven't really had the time or opportunity to work on any models. The last one I completed was that FW190, which was that Edward kit. If you're interested in the review, I think it's the next video down in the sequence here on my YouTube channel. Check that video out. It was a fantastic little build, and so just go ahead and check that video out. But I will show you the status of the F4F Wildcat that I've had. It's been just sitting ever since I started on it. But I mean, this is how it looks at this point in time. Very, very basic. I haven't really done anything with it. Matter of fact, it's been sitting so long, there's some dust on it, so I haven't really touched it. But I am thinking about changing this up a little bit. I'm not real happy with how the chipping has turned out, especially here on the wing, like where the gun panels are. I think it's too excessive. So I think what I might do is go ahead and re-primer this and then go again with another fresh paint job. Because I mean, some of the chipping, it's just, like I said, it's really bad, really excessive here. And I know I said I was going for a weathered look on the plane, but I think, sometimes to me anyway, there's such thing as a little too weathered, or sometimes you weather the wrong parts of the model. And some of these are actually from when I pulled the tape off, so you can see that. And there's some huge chunks missing there. And believe it or not, these planes in World War II, they actually had very tough paint jobs. It's very rarely that you'll see, a lot of like huge chunks of paint just missing off of an aircraft. Usually that's the result of some kind of physical damage to it, or just lack of maintenance. Now granted, I know that these planes were used, they were abused. I mean, they in World War II, they really just, they didn't really keep up with the appearance like they do on modern aircraft, especially in wartime, right? Because it was a lot of turn and burn, right? It was like, have them land, rearm, refuel, get it back in the air, right? There's a lot of that going on in World War II. So they didn't have a lot of time to maintain the paint jobs on these things. They did keep paint on them because paint helps with control of corrosion, especially if you're out at sea. I mean, the air is, always very corrosive because of the salt water and stuff like that. But I don't really like this look. So going back to that, so what I think I'm going to do, like I said, is re-primer, repaint, and I think I'm just going to make it look a little grimy. So I think I'm going to go with the dirt aspect of it rather than the chipped out, look of it. So let me know what you guys think about that. So I think that's what I'm going to do. Today, though, however, so I have that Kingfisher that's been, I built it for a gentleman, and I completed it earlier this year. and it's done. It's been done. It's been sitting in a box, and I actually have it partially packed up. But today I'm going to finish the packing of it, and I'm going to get it ready to send out later this week to that gentleman. So I do have a few minor things that I have to paint. So I have like these wheel assemblies here that I need to do. They've been sitting in a plastic baggie. But then again, I'm not going to do this today because I live in the Midwest, and today it is hot, very hot and very muggy outside. The humidity is ridiculous right now, and I am not going to stand out in my garage and try and do that. So a few months ago, I did a video on when to paint, when not to paint, right? Because if it's too cold, okay, and you're aerosolizing your paint or atomizing your paint out of an airbrush, it doesn't shoot correctly. The same thing can be said when it's too hot. Not to mention, you know, there's a physical discomfort aspect of it too, because when I'm out there painting, I like to take my time, right? So like if you look at this this Wildcat, especially you can see it on here. So I did that kind of distressed paint look, right? Well, I'm not going to stand up there and do this because that's a lot of work. That's not just a straight, very quick, you know, that doesn't happen very quickly to make it look correct. So to paint something correctly, I want to take my time. So I'm going to pack this model up, and then hopefully, because I think the weather is supposed to break tomorrow and supposed to cool off a little bit. So if I have the chance after I get home from work, I will take the model or take the wheels and stuff, and I'll start painting them, because really they just need to be primered, and then have some white paint put on them, and then paint the tires. Really just a quick, shouldn't be too hard to do. But I'm not a fan of standing outside in the heat and doing all that. So, and I'm sure some of you probably look at it the same way. You're probably not a fan of standing out in excessive heat and doing all of that stuff. So, yeah. So that's pretty much where I'm at right now. But all of my, the model building project, because once I completed this, I was actually thinking about going on to my next project, which I've got a few different directions I could go. So I have the P38 that I could do, which I really am a fan of the P38. When I first got into model building, back into model building, I should say, after a very long, like 20+ year hiatus, I did the Monogram P38 model kit, and it was okay to get back into. I mean, I got it for really cheap off of eBay, so it was a good buy in that regard. So it was a lot of fun to do, but I've picked up the Tamiya P38, which I've had sitting on my shelf for, I don't know, 5 years, 4 years, something like that. It's been sitting around for a long time. So there's that one. And then also I have the Tamiya 1/48 scale F14. I think it's the F14A. Let me look here real quick and I can tell you. Where is it? It's the F14A. So there's that. I also have a B24J Liberator that I could do that's also 1/48 scale. I had the 1/24 scale Junkers JU87, but that's huge. I don't really think I want to do that one just yet, just because I don't necessarily have the space to display it. Unless I displayed it here in my workspace, I guess I could do that, just maybe, I don't know, hang it from the ceiling or install a shelf or something like that, but it would have to be a really big shelf, because that thing from nose to tail is going to be right around 16 to 18 inches, and the wingspan is probably going to be close to, well, if that's 16 to 18, so you probably figure 20, maybe 25 inches roughly from wingtip to wingtip. So it's not going to be tiny. So that's something to think about as well. But anyway, I have a few different directions that I could go to on my next build, but I got to finish this thing first, because I'm not really a fan of building more than one kit at a time. And I know some of you guys, that's what you do. You know, you'll start a kit and you set that one aside, and maybe while that one's, you know, the paint's drying or whatever, and then you'll start another one, and then, you know, and then my problem is, not that I necessarily have ADHD, maybe I have a touch of it, I don't know. My problem is that then I would end up with 4 or 5 kits that are unfinished, and they're all sitting around and waiting for my attention, and then my attention's going in 50 different directions. Not really what I want to do, and that wouldn't be favorable for the, you know, somewhat limited space that I do have, at least in my work area down here. So I want to give the kit its proper attention and finish it. So, but now that things seem to be at least slowing down a little bit here at home and at work, you know, things are kind of leveling off a bit. Maybe I'll have some time to actually sit down and work on this kit. So yeah, so that's kind of where things are at for me. And like I said, I apologize for not putting out videos frequently at all for the last couple of months, but you know, stuff gets busy, summer, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, anyway, if you guys ever have that issue, right, where you're busy, like not this lack of motivation or anything like that, but like you just get overwhelmed with so much going on, you know, post in the comments below, let me know, and let me know how you handle it too. And I know not all of you guys have YouTube channels and stuff like that, and you know, and like I said before, I've never kept a schedule, because I know some channels, they keep a schedule and it's like every Thursday they release a video or something like that. I've never ever done that. I have thought about doing something like that, maybe recording 2 or 3, 4 or 5 videos and then just have them launch at certain times and certain intervals, you know, and maybe that'll keep the content up as well. So, but you know, and I know that you guys would probably appreciate that, rather than just me doing these whenever I can. So anyway, do you guys ever have those similar types of issues where just you don't have the time to build or whatever? Let me know how you handle that. Do you just make time? Do you shove that into the schedule wherever you can? Do you just wait until things calm down? You know, do you just abandon all hope? How you handle it, and what do you do? So anyway, guys, that's really all I have in this quick little video. Well, we're at 13 minutes now. I guess it's not that quick. And with the intro, it's probably gonna be like another, you know, 30 seconds or so. Anyhow, thanks for watching. Y'all take care. Happy modeling.